Well, well, well. We get to go first. Does that mean anything? It should mean we have an advantage. We shall see. Couple colors already, and we put down the unforgiving one. We need to get a number of modified creatures. This looks like an artifact deck. I only have one Morbid Opportunist in the deck, so I'm kind of glad to see him out early. If the enemy underestimates him, he'll go for the ones that have greater power and leave me the Opportunist. I need the card draw. Circuit Mender is big for the artifact decks. And how do we want to do this? How about we'll bring you in now and get rid of you. We both get to draw a card. That seems fair. It's vampires, is it? Okay, fine. Who do we want to kill the most? Who's this guy? And Skulking Killer. I lied. I want to kill them both. It's just a game. It's just digital creatures. Don't call the authorities. Have we done introductions yet? We have some new subscribers. Thanks for joining us. I'm Travis. You're hanging out at Tpull's Corner. We play Magic the Gathering Online Arena. And my opponent's starting to get feisty on me. Let's see if he wants to block the Skulking Killer. That seems like it would be a good trade for him on face value. He can't block Unforgiving One. He's got Menace. I think he was trying to keep his creature alive and block the 2/3. And he takes all the damage. I feel good about my chances then. He can hurt me big time with that Dragon Spark Reactor, though. Flooding out is not good for me right now. Where do we want to put? Let's see. Whenever another creature dies, I get to plus up. So let's do that with... Let's do that with the Morbid Opportunist, actually. I don't think he's going to want to just take more damage, will he? So you get a card. My rogue gets a +1 and a card. And I get to connive. I think we get rid of that one. He's trying to just save up with the Dragon Spark Reactor. But now he's got a second one. Alright, I made the right choice for Necrosynthesis, right? I get to look at the top 3 cards. I get to keep one. I guess I'll keep that one. And then we connive again. And cut down. Does cut down help me that much? Let me get rid of cut down. Alright. Let's just go all in, because we've got Blade Brand. That's 12 points of damage. And he loses his Reveler. Where's that Reveler? And the card draw is not the greatest. But unless he has a board wipe, we should be good. He's only got 5 mana left to do something with it. And he's digging. Now he can't afford to use the Dragon Spark Reactor. And he just gets a land. So I think we're... there we go. I was going to say, we're just waiting for him to spend all his mana as much as he can. Huzzah! Okay, so we won our first match. Let me go in and show you the entire deck. It's kind of a work in progress. Dark Counters is the name of it because I kind of want to build counters on my creatures and do ---- on the opponent's creatures. So it's kind of a parallel theme running through it. I've got a Cut Down, which we didn't even use. Got Dreams of Steel and Oil. This is my only discard card, really. But I want to try and save that because we might have a Graveyard Recursion deck. And I want to get something out of the graveyard. I have Undying Malice to save one of my creatures and bring it back. I've got March of Wretched Sorrow, so the more mana that I have, the more damage I can do to a creature and gain some life. I've got some battle tactics to try and hold on to my creatures. 3 Battle Rage Blessings to give them indestructible. 1 Blade Brand to take out a big creature with a small chump blocker. And a couple other removals with Infernal Grasp and 2 Lethal Exploits to get rid of the 2/2s. If I happen to have a modified creature out, just one would make it a -3/-3, and so on and so forth. The Necrosynthesis you just saw in action. Whenever another creature dies, you get to add a counter to your creature, and then when that enchanted creature dies, that would be your creature, or mine. You look at the top X cards of your library, where X is its power, and you get to keep one of the cards. 2 Slaughter Specialists. They get the opponent gets the token creature human to the right, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you put counters on the Slaughter Specialist. 2 Debt to the Kames. That's really because I want to exile enchantments, and black doesn't have many options there, so Debt to the Kame it is. One Morbid Opportunist. So there's a tendency, I don't really want to go skimp on the land because I've been getting land starved a lot, even though I have 24 lands, so I didn't want to risk it here, although I'm tempted. But I put in one Morbid Opportunist, so when a creature dies, whether it's theirs or mine, we draw a card, and hopefully that'll prevent me from just flooding out and getting lands when I need spells. 3 of Rafine's Silencer, that connives when you come in, and when Silencer dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -X/-X, where X is Rafine's Silencer power. So ideally, I'd get rid of a card, pump her up to 2/2, and we could block a 4/4 and kill it with just Rafine's dying and putting the negative counters, or the -- on the opponent creature. 1 Shakedown Heavy, 6/4 with Menace. 3 Unforgiving Ones. Whenever it attacks, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of modified creatures you control. So I've got 3 of them, and this is kind of, I think, what I built the deck around for my initial attempts, right? Because the other creatures, like we got Necrosynthesis, so we can give any creature counters. Slaughter Specialist naturally gets the counters. And then the others are all connivers, and the conniving mechanic gives you a counter on the creature when it comes in. So, you know, we want to get a bunch of creatures down, we want to get some counters, we want to be able to bring our creatures back. Because we have 20, it's not a lot, so we kind of make up for it by being able to bring some back. We've got Bloodline Cooling, which I'm toying around with the idea of having one more copy in, because creature tokens get -2/-2, and there are a lot of tokens running around in the current environment. You have 2 Nightclubbers. You bring them into the battlefield. Your creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 till end of turn. So this is built against the little 1/1 swarms. 3 Revel Runers that have Menace and Connive when they enter the battlefield. So again, more tokens coming onto those creatures. Or more counters, I should say. 1 Skulking Killer. If it enters the battlefield, the target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-2 if that opponent controls no other creatures. So this is kind of where we have other removals. We got the Cut Down and the 2 Infernal Grasp and the March of Wretched Sorrow. So if they've got 2 creatures and one of them is a 2/2, we could maybe get rid of one and clear the path for the Skulking Killer to be effective. 3 Body Launderers. They have 3/3 with Death Touch. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, the Body Launderer connives. And then when the Body Launderer himself dies, return another non-rogue creature card with equal or lesser power from your graveyard to the battlefield, so all of the 2 and 3 drop creatures can come back. The only one that's more expensive is the Vampire Scrivener, which is my 1 flyer. Whenever you gain life during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Scrivener. If you lose life during your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on Scrivener. So we don't have too much in the way of giving us life, right? We have 3. That's just Death Touch and Indestructible, though, so that doesn't give us life. We've got 2 that we can use. If we use it on our turn, we'd lose 2 life that we could pump it up. And we've got the March of Wretched Sorrow. So I'm not sure if that's enough, and that's kind of why I say this is a work in progress. Because if I put in other stuff, like another March of the Wretched Sorrow, I'm going to have to take out a creature, and I've only got 20 creatures. So I'm trying to find the right balance. But let's go in and see what happens at the next match. I tried at first to do this without a Morbid Opportunist, and I flooded out with land too many times because I would get to the mid-game, and then they would have 3 or 4 chances to get a good spell to turn things around in their favor, and I would get 2 or 3 lands. And I decided I just need something to draw through the deck, a little bit. And let's hope they have more 1/1s coming out, because we've got our Nightclubber coming up. And that's going to make Slaughter Specialist oh so good. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's a big help. So the question is, do we blitz it or not? Ooh, I'm greedy. I'm going to wait. No attacks. Veteran. Okay. Are you going to attack with that? No, they don't. Okay, so you can go away. We get to draw a card, and we get +1. Looking good. Another veteran. Okay. I'm sensing a pattern. Okay, I didn't want to have to do this, but you're kind of stopping me from doing my big major plan. But we get another card draw, and we get another 2, 3, 4, 5. No attacks. Do not have a third one of those. Thank you. He can't attack with that one yet. Makes it a 4-2. That's fine. Okay, so now we bring in Nightclubber. You lose 4. Slaughter Specialist gets 4. And we draw a card. And we attack. And life is good. And they're gonna take 10 points. Sweet. Hold for ransom. Well, Battle Rage Blessing can't stop that. So what do we want to do? I think we just want to attack. They're almost out of ammo anyway. Only blocking the one. Oh, nope, he's gonna die. We get the draw. Specialist becomes 10-10. If the game lasts long enough, that'll be awesome. In the meantime, exile a creature you control. And they give up the... We just beat a soldier deck. I have to say that was fun, right? The Azorius Soldiers is supposed to be one of the fastest, bestest decks around right now. I think we're getting lucky. I mean, the Morbid Opportunist was the biggest change that I made in the deck. And the Flask of Blood and Oil. Is that the right name of the card? The discard that also gets rid of one in the exiles one card from the graveyard. I had basically a couple of Undying Malices in the deck, which allowed me to resurrect a creature, and I didn't feel like those were enough. I already had the Battle Rage Blessing, so I figured that would be enough. So, good call, good call. We don't have a lot to start with. We need creatures for these things to work. Okay. He's got Ward there, so we can't do anything. What's usually troublesome is when they put out 2 at once at the beginning. Ask and it shall happen. It happens a lot, actually. So let's go ahead and make them get rid of 1 now. They don't expect usually to lose one of these this early. That's kind of why it's so great for them to have 2 out at once. So just run away with the game. Especially since it's all artifact creatures, right? Let's see. Let's go ahead and put this creature down. Let's get rid of Unforgiving One. Just because he could put it down another artifact and make that a 4/4. No, he's just going to use Borrowed Time. Gross. That's 5 points I didn't want to lose, and just another land. Alright, so we're kind of running out of choices here. We pay the 2 life, and pay the 2 ward costs. So that doesn't get any bigger on us. And the vehicles come out now. And we're already flooding out with land. Okay. I am running out of ammo. And I need a creature to make the other stuff good. They still got a handful of cards. And now they can... Oh, they can't power up the mech yet. Oh, Magic? Is this because I just won 2 matches? You're going to give me everything except a creature when creature is the only thing I need. 7 lands to 4. Usually I'm complaining when I'm on the other side of this, right? The opponent has 7 lands and they have spells. That's usually death for me. Oh, we're playing poker now. That can't be an accident, can it?
Kamigawa appreciates a technocratic future, just as I do. Meet your killer.
Let's draw a card. Oh, there's where it was. So I was supposed to know to do that last turn to put something down, yeah? Okay, my mistake. I had the draw. Maybe he still had something in those other 3 cards to take it out, but I should have been quicker on the draw to at least try it. But you know, when you get 3 cards that don't do you any good at all, given the circumstances, you can't help but feel like the game has it in for you. You only needed 5 lands to beat me, and I flooded out with 7 lands instead of spells. I went through everything I had, one after the other. Okay, let's test the waters and see, do we have counter spells? No. Do you have Fading Hope to bounce them back? Are you having land problems? No. You got land. It's a flyer deck. Okay, so they've got some nice card draw, which could be trouble for us, but we make good on our Skulking Killer, and First Blood is ours. This could be an interesting matchup. Their flyers are weak on toughness, and we do have a lot of negative stuff. Plus, we got this. I'm going to chump block and save the 4 points of damage already. I think you need to purposefully design to include Skulking Killer. I don't think you could really get away with having 4 copies of it in your deck normally. Unless it was maybe a really heavily removal kind of deck to begin with. Gross! Now that hurts. Nice big advantage. So this isn't the normal angel deck that I thought it was going to be. Let's see if we can kill Zur. We can kill Zur! That is so sweet! Here, let's see what else you got. Silver Scrutinies, which he can refill his hand with. I'm going to get rid of Mischievous Catgeist so he can't cast that again. The problem is he can get 5 cards next turn and he knows he's got time to do it. That's some nice card draw. He can basically get 10 cards in the next couple of turns. And what would he lose? 4 life points if I just hit him over and over? Oh. That could be a mistake, but I think I might need the life gain. He doesn't seem to have counter spells, right? Are you gonna go ahead and fill your hand with 6 more cards? He is. So he's tapped out. He's going to discard 1. And it's a land. Okay. We're doing this now, I guess. Can we? Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Target creature planeswalker. No. I can't use that. I don't want to kill my own creature. Ah, that guy we want to kill. Let's see, 6. Please don't have counterspell. This is all I've got. Oh, well. Okay. Now we're out of cards. And he's got so many! And he's still really close to 20 life points after all that. Is this having 2 board wipes with Depopulate and Farewells wasn't enough? He had Children come up right after that. Ugh. Did I mention this deck has a tendency to flood out? I never got my Opportunist out. He hasn't shown up yet. Thankfully, a lot of these cards so far are kind of tiny. That's not good. Whenever you draw a card. Okay. Well, he happens to have a draw spell, so that's not cool. Okay, let me draw one of mine now. There's the Opportunist. Thanks, I think. Ugh. Seriously. He's got 3 more lands than me, but he also drew like 5 or 6 more cards than me already. Or at least blocking 3 of them. So much land, he's throwing it away now. You have to go. If he plays Silver Scrutiny now, it's only for... Oh, shoot. I wasn't paying attention. Do I even have a Field of Ruin in my deck against that? Figures I used it against the legendary. I totally forgot Keza was a legendary creature. He was prepared. Oh, gross. This is all gross. Six more triggers. So gonna die. Alright, you see what I got. Not a lot. His time is on his side. He can just sort of wait as long as he keeps Keza alive. Oh, two of them with Mirror Box now. Lovely. And his life is over 20. He's just biding his time very happily. He's making me lose the life before the Scrivener gets down here when it happens during my turn. Blitzen the Nightclubber. Ugh. He can really kill me before Nightclubber even hits the battlefield, if he wants to. Yeah, there he goes. I mean, he could have also just attacked with some of these guys last turn, but... There we go. That's a good combo. Got a lot of these tiny cheap cards. Got lots of good land out. Had to use 2 board wipes, but still, pretty good strategy. Alright, we'll do one more. I don't think I dare take this out into ranked battles. Nowhere near tough enough. But I do feel good about the matches we won. Starting with 4 lands. But I do have 2 removal. What's up with the algorithm these days? Is anybody else starting with 4 lands? I didn't put extra in here, it's still just 24 lands. It's a little unusual. Yeah, go away. Throw away a good card. Hey, threw away a whole flying card. Excellent. And go away. Oh, starting with 4 lands and I've got 6 already. 7. Yeah, I'm not spending any on conniving on that. We've just got way too many lands. But watch, if I go down to 23, it'll give me like no lands for 5 turns in a row. I think my average mana cost is 2.7. So, serious? We lost the last match. Why are you doing this to me? Four spells and 8 lands. So 66.6 land distribution. And what is going on with my opponent? They're not playing anything. Oh, they're waiting for the Planeswalker. No. Angelic Quartermaster, okay. And it's probably a bitter pill for them to swallow, because they wanted to have 2 other creatures out to benefit from that. We have Menace there. So he can't block yet. What are all these other cards that they're not using? There we go. Do you want to start attacking, or are you going to block my Menace? Ha! Now he can afford to attack. And gets card draw out of it. Very nice. We're not going to wait. We're just going to attack. It's got Menace. You need to attack with both. Sure you want to do that? Battle Rage Blessing! Die! Don't have anything protected anymore, so we might as well do this. I don't think this deck has a board wipe. They do have removal. Should go after the Runer. There we go. Leaves me with just the 2/2. Draw spell. Okay. That's enough to refill their tank. And I don't have their health down enough yet. All they need is one more borrowed time out of their next couple of cards. And then one other creature. There's a creature. There's 2 creatures. And I'm tapped. And I don't feel like I have too many of these, but I'm not getting many creatures yet. I got 20 creatures, so I still have 18 left. I've got nearly 50% odds of drawing a creature at this point. Unfortunately, I don't have any other flyers. Ouch. Yes, we'll allow it. 15 points of damage, and one of them has two of them have vigilance. That's gonna be it for me. Oh wait, never mind. Let's kill you. Let's attack with you. Keep you alive. And we've got one blocker right now who doesn't have vigilance. Can't stop that. Yeah, that's got to make them feel good. At least we get a draw card out of this. Into land. Okay, so we ended up being even with them on the land, despite the fact that they had the draw spell. They can't block, but they got one more toughness. Oh, sorry, they got more than one more toughness. And, okay, but we have menace on both, so 5. If that's not a creature, we're still good, right? That's a creature. And he gets to draw a card. And he gets to bring him back because he copied my Unforgiving one. Little puke. He doesn't have to block anything. He can let these through. He can let these through and he's got me. Does he know it? Our bluff worked. He couldn't take the risk that we could add one more point of damage. Didn't need to. He's got us anyway. Oh, how good was that for him to get that particular card and be able to copy my card that gave him additional defenders. Kind of sweet. Alright, so we'll go in and look at the deck one last time. I'm not sure I want to keep this one. I guess I will. I could tinker around with it some more. But man, did we flood out in that last match. I'm really tempted, out of all my decks, this is one I'm tempted to go lower on the land. Although I shouldn't, because it's at 2.7 average. But I just don't feel like I'm getting enough spells. I mean, there's so much draw card advantage in white and blue that black has a little bit of a problem sometimes. And the only thing that really helps me out with that is the Morbid Opportunist for the most part. But she doesn't come up often enough because I only have one. So, do I give up a little bit of my concept with Unforgiving one and get rid of some of these creatures that get counters? Even though, you know, having a 3/1 menace is not bad, especially if it turns into a 4/2 menace. The menace ability is pretty good in this deck when we do get some ground forces going on. But I really need to get... We didn't have too many occasions where Unforgiving One was out, where we had more creatures that were modified, where we were able to bring anything back. So it's not working yet. This deck, based around the idea of the Unforgiving One, it's just... I haven't been able to get it to work with that. It's like, do I need more creatures with counters on them? Because I tried to find a way to get, indestructible on my creatures so that they would stay around longer. And you saw how well that worked out. It didn't work out that well. But it's tough for me to figure out from here where to go, what to remove. Because as soon as I remove one thing, like as soon as I take Dreams of Steel and Oil out, I'm going to come up against a Graveyard Recursion deck and I'm going to get my head handed to me. However, when we were going up against the Soldiers deck, which is currently the lead in the meta, we were able to do a bunch of -1, -1, and -2 stuff, which was really cool. So, I don't know where to go from here. Why don't you guys give me a suggestion? Remember to like and subscribe. We'll leave it there for now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Thanks. Have a good one.